Good morning, Southeast Michigan and our friends in Southern Ontario. Welcome back to Plumbing Professor Radio on New Talk Radio 1270 WXYT, where you'll have one riveting hour of plumbing, sewer, and drain discussion. Now, before we left, we were talking about garbage disposals, and there's some interesting technology, believe it or not, on garbage disposals and some interesting issues.
I think it's a man-woman issue. John from Warren, thanks for the question because this is a hot button for me. Here's my problem. I talk to our plumbers, and the plumbers always used to say, it's not a grinder. You can't just put any kitchen waste down it and expect it to work. They say no coffee grounds, no grease, no hot water, no onion skins, no rice, no pasta, no bleach, no drain cleaners. Here's my question. What can I put down my garbage disposal?
Well, Wendy, that question has changed over the course of the last few years. You know, the old disposers had one grinding position. You turn on the switch and there are a couple toggle bolts in there. They cut up the food and then it goes down. Well, then we were getting phone calls where people would put pasta down there. Well, pasta doesn't really grind. It kind of gets mushy. Or potatoes, mashed potatoes. That stuff goes down your drains and then it'll clog it up. And with, a lot of what you put down the disposer also depends on how old your home is or how well you maintain your pipes. If your pipes are already partially plugged and then you put something like a pasta or a celery stick down there, it's going to only plug up more.
Well, I had always heard that you take a plate from dinner and you scrape everything off, then you rinse what's left in your sink, and that's what the disposal will take care of, and then the sink goes into a dishwasher.
Right, but then your garbage smells, and then you have to change your garbage daily.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, InSinkRater came out with a new line of garbage disposals. And what's really cool about what they've done is we can go into someone's home and just see, what do you put down your drains? What do you want to put down your drains?
I want to put everything down my drains.
You want to put everything?
I don't want it in the garbage.
Are you a big cook, Wendy?
Yes, I love to cook.
You love to cook. So then what you want to do is find what disposer will work for you. And InSinkRater came out with 5 new lines of disposers. One's for a septic system. Back 5 years ago, you would never want a garbage disposal on a septic system.
Right.
Well, now they have one where they actually mix a product similar to our drain maintenance treatment, or DMT, that will help break down the solids, and now you can put that kind of stuff down.
Oh, see, that's good to know, because my sister-in-law is on a septic system and she doesn't have one. So,
but guys, what does the average person do that has a garbage disposal already that doesn't have this new technology? What should be a rule of thumb for them that makes sense with food?
Well, you don't want to put anything stringy down there. Now, the new disposers, and folks, this isn't a $2,000 investment. They're really affordable. And how long have you had your garbage disposal? And is it still working? If a lot of people think, well, it's running, well, then it's working. Well, that's not necessarily the case. So ask the questions. What do you want to put down there? Are you a person that puts celery down there?
But Matt,
bones.
And you and I differ on this. If I want to buy an iPhone instead of a new garbage disposal, what do I do as far as today when I go home and have dinner? How should I treat that plate of leftover food with an old disposal that I own already?
With an old disposal that you have, you want to stay from anything that is stringy or like anything that you can mash. If you can mash it and it doesn't chop up, don't put it down there. Okay. Stay away from the bones, because what happens in the disposers 5 years ago, unless you have a really, really nice one, it's going to jam or it's going to plug, or like the question earlier, it doesn't work.
Well, so orange peels, can I put orange peels down?
Orange peels I would say is okay.
See, because I like how they smell.
Well, they are. There's natural oils in orange peels, not only the fragrance, but if you use some of the contractor solvents that are out there that are billed as safe, those have orange peel oils in them. So that's really good for your disposal. It's also good for your whole drainage system downstream.
It's understanding what kind you have now. What's the horsepower? What's the name on it? And they're really identifiable. You can look underneath your sink and see, okay, I have a Badger 1. Well, that is one of the models that you shouldn't put a whole lot down there. Now, if you see a Pro 77 or Evolution series, then you can put a lot more down there. And you can find all this information out at Ferguson.com. You can go to Ferguson Supply Store, and they have all these models there. They can show you them, what they look like, what they're going to do, how they're going to work. You can go to plumbingprofessors.com, send us an email saying, you know what, I want to put pumpkin peels down there. Which one do I need? Or I have a small cabinet that might not be able to fit a garbage disposal. Well, now they make a garbage disposal that's small enough to fit into a tight, compact area.
And if you can't sleep at night because you're not sure what to do with your garbage disposal, call us, 248-356-1270, 248-356-1270, and we'll talk to you about it. My rule of thumb has always been scrape the plate clean. It does end up, most of your trash ends up in a landfill anyway where that stuff goes back to nature. Scrape it clean enough, not clean enough to eat off of, but scrape it clean, rinse it, put it in the dishwasher, and you should be good to go. Unless, like Matt said, you want the newer technology, and some of that stuff is really impressive.
In a garbage disposal, it's an appliance. I mean, everyone's upgrading their refrigerators to do everything from making ice to bottom drawer freezers, sub-zero ranges and refrigerators, and you have Viking. I mean, people are spending some money on their kitchens. You might as well put the better garbage disposal in there so you can put anything down there and not have to worry about it.
Honey, guess what I need?
Tell me.
A new disposal.
A new garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, if people understood what options are out there, and that's what we do at Plumbing Professors, we give you the options. We let you know what the new technology is. We're not going to come to your home and just put in what you have. We'll say for an extra $50, you can upgrade so you can put anything down your disposer. And I know that people would like to hear about that.
You're listening to Plumbing Professor Radio on New Talk Radio 1270 WXYT. You can call us with questions directly, 248-356-1270. You can talk right to experts. Guys, we had a email from Joel in Novi that we received this week, and Joel says, is it true that you have to winterize your underground sprinklers? This is my first home, and I'm getting advice from every direction.
Yes, you do need to winterize your sprinkler systems. Any pipe with water is no different than putting a can of pop in a freezer. And when that liquid freezes, it expands and then breaks that pop can inside the freezer. Well, your pipes will do the exact same thing. If they freeze and that water starts to expand, you're going to have all kinds of problems in the spring. And same with outside faucets. If you leave a hose hooked up to that faucet all winter long, there's water in that hose and it has nowhere to go when that faucet's off. That's going to burst and pop, and in the spring, you're going to have all kinds of a mess.
So, Joel, the only place you want ice is in your drink.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And ice, water is very powerful. You see that when cars are floating down a street, when you see those cities that have terrible floods. When it freezes, that power is still there, and it can lift concrete slabs. It cracks up expressways. It's very damaging, so it's really critical that your hoses are disconnected, that you blow out your sprinkler system. Now, you don't need all the water out of any of that stuff. You just need to get the vast majority of water out so that whatever's left has room to expand.
And smart, they'll always have a professional company come out and blow your sprinkler system out the first time so you can see. A little pancake compressor hooking up to your sprinkler system is not going to be powerful enough to get all that water out. Let's
talk to Kurt from Plymouth. Good morning, Kurt.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing?
Very good.
What's shaking?
Not too much. I just unfortunately don't have any sewer problems to talk to you about. That would be an exciting topic, and so would obviously disposals. But I have a new disposal and no sewer problems, but I had my sprinklers blown out, and the inside shutoff valve in the house, I cranked it as tight as I could, and I did it myself first, and I had a professional company come out, and the guy said, listen, it looks like you're still getting a little water. It's not shut off completely. Is there anything I can do other than having that inside house valve replaced? Because it's up in a ceiling. I'd probably have to rip out a wall to even get at it. What are my options there?
Well, Kurt, there's nothing you can do besides replace it. Now, most of the time, sprinkler systems go in and they tie it in by the meter. Is there a possibility where you could leave that valve open and put a new valve by the meter?
It's no. It's really a bad design, I guess. I'm probably stuck here because the valve is almost right at the house, right at the edge of the house where the pipe goes right out. I probably seriously have 4 inches of space between where it goes out to the outside of the house and the inside. So they didn't put it in a very good location.
Well, Kurt, we're right up against a break. If you could sit tight, we'll help you out when we come back. How's that sound?
Okay, great.
All right, great. You're listening to 1270 WXYT.